Hello.
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 Let's go!
Hey, kids.
Hey, Dad.
War crimes will be prosecuted.
Let's have a Liberty City, burn it to the ground.
Does the word mean anything to you?
Yeah, I chose this profession, so therefore I earn beer.
You want to go to the matinee?
The feeling is definitely there.
You don't know my name!
It's a new morning in America.
This is the old dude, Howard J. Reynolds.
Step into my office.
Not going to be too many punks.
Don't you stop worrying about the punk?
Fuck you! That's my name!
Yeah, let's go to the punk rock show.
Introducing for your listening pleasure.
Hi, and welcome to the High Fives Punk Rock Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is Justin. Justin, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. You're looking nice. You're looking like you've got some sun, sort of, in this half-assed summer we're having.
I'm trying to.
Once
in and amongst our terrible summer.
It's better than smoke, but not much better than smoke.
Not much better at this point, so...
It's getting pretty... I'm starting to feel like we live in Vancouver, and this is like one of my main gripes with like moving to BC or Vancouver is dealing with like constant cloud and rain.
Yeah, I was out this morning. I could see my breath.
Really? Was that cold this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually it was pretty chilly yesterday morning. We had soccer at like 8 in the morning. It was chilly enough that I debated wearing a toque. But It wasn't windy. So if it was windy, it would have been worse. But definitely was wearing a jacket and track pants and like a hoodie too. So...
Well, you're always wearing track pants, so...
Yeah, well. Oh, what's new, Justin? Anything new and exciting in your world?
Nope, just, summer's supposed to be here. I feel like the entire month has gone by so quickly. We're even late on this episode.
We are late in this episode, but that was my bad, and I figure a little bit to do with, like, Stampede, and for those of you not in the know of Stampede, it's about 10 days, but really it's
10 days.
But really it's like 13 days of people in this city shutting down and partying like Mardi Gras. My bias aside that I don't like it, it's like if you have any sort of corporate job or any sort of job that requires attending, you're basically hooped for those days because you're stuck doing like events or having to go here or choosing to go to this thing, and then that's like 2 weeks of your summer gone.
Absolutely. I did 4 events in 8 days, and it basically you lose those 8 days entirely.
And then you're playing catch up, and then on top of it, it's summer, so you have stuff to do, or you try to. Like Calgary's because winter's so long, you gotta capitalize on summer, on the few summer bits we get. So like, it was busy, but we'll get it out. I'll get it out before, maybe not the first, but within that little bit there, it'll be out.
Yeah.
I guess if you're listening to this, you know it's out, but because you don't get access to this part, but.
No, because we didn't live stream it.
No, I guess I should have live streamed it just like this program's trying to... Who would watch the live stream? No one. Maybe somebody weird. Somebody weird would.
I would be more concerned about those that would.
Yeah. They can find out the magic that doesn't exist. What was I going to say? Oh, some interesting newsreels in the punk rock world. The Fat Sale. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm like kind of surprised by it. There's nothing surprising about it. Like it's a company, and when someone doesn't want to run the company anymore, then they can sell it. So that's not like it shouldn't be surprising.
Is that business 101?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you don't want to do it anymore, that's probably when you should stop. I think Hopeless is a good label. Like I just wonder if they're going to keep the Fat Records name. That would be my thought. I'm assuming they would.
I would assume that was the whole like appeal to buying it for them, is they get to probably use the Fat name and logo and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I thought was kind of cool was that they paid in the negotiation for the deal. It sounds like they paid off all the debts of the bands, which I think is a pretty noble thing to do. By like. Mike
so every band sort of gets the clean slate. I wonder if they'll keep the like Fat Records was always known for like the one record deal, so they didn't hold bands to staying with the label or anything like that. It was always like one record at a time.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about Hopeless's like record with that, but I feel like in the punk rock world, it doesn't make sense to like drag a band down with you, like to hold them to like a 3 or 4 record deal, because bands break up so quickly and trends change so much. Like as a label, I wouldn't maybe even want to do that.
Well, I think that's, yeah, I guess one way to like recap investment on them is on, subsequent releases, which I think is why a lot of bands put out like B-sides and rarities and stuff like that, and even live stuff, because it all sort of hits that requirement for label releases.
Yeah, I guess that's why we didn't do a good job running our label. We couldn't really screw anybody over.
Yeah, we just didn't have it in us.
or good enough music out. I don't know. We'll see. Also, I don't want to go too deep into it, because I'm sure if you listen to this podcast, you sort of know where my thoughts lie. But I did not have Dropkick Murphys being the first of the larger acts to take a stand against punk in the Park and those promoters.
Yeah, so I haven't followed this story at all. I just sort of know that there's really growing backlash.
Okay, so really quickly, and you can read up on it online if you want, but basically the promoter that does Punks in the Park, and I believe the Punk in Drublic shows and a few other things, it became apparent that he donated money to Donald Trump during the election, and his wife donated to Donald Trump and to a bunch of like right-wing causes. So again, it's their prerogative to donate to who they want, but when you have a bunch of bands playing, and in this tense political climate and with what's going on, it's kind of weird that some bands are playing these shows. And maybe it wasn't clear to some of the bands originally, but it started becoming more and more clear. Like, I know Dillinger 4 was really big on calling out people for playing it. And 1876 specifically, with the last few shows, have been like, hey, like, how can you say you're like super anti Donald Trump and then play the show? And they actually called out the promoter, and the promoter told them like something along the lines of like, I'd do it again anyways. So Dropkick Murphys was the first band to pull out. Propaganda, I guess, also pulled out, but Propaganda pulled out of the whole American tour, so I don't know if it was...
Yeah, I didn't think they were touring the US at all, so...
Yeah, they pulled completely out of it, but it's just like, I thought it was interesting.
They got too many ska festivals to play.
Yeah, just thought it was, like, Dropkick Murphys aren't an overtly political band. Like, for example, and I'm not trying to start anything, but like Bad Religion is playing the show. Like, you think Bad Religion would be like...
Yeah, you would think they would, yeah.
Dropkick Murphys, yeah, they're a working men's band, but they're not like super in your face political. So again, one of the other things that it could be that they don't have to worry about the financial hit that might hit some of these bands. So I'm not saying that again, it's up to a band if they want to do it, but I just find it's an interesting conundrum to be in if you're speaking out,
and I think
against
there's
things.
there's probably a question there too of like, well, where do you sort of draw the line on like either affiliations or like who's connected to who and at what level? Like if, I don't know, some...
Well, I know what you're trying to say. I'm just like, but the promoter's response is pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Not to even to the 1876. Like his thing was like, I only donated X amount of dollars, and in a 2-party system, I have to go with what aligns with my thing, and I'm more punk than you, and I've done more for punk rock, etc. It is what it is. Again, the funnier thing to me was that it was Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah.
And good on them. And again, it's your own prerogative if you want to play that show or support those shows. I'm not here to be on my soapbox, which I do enjoy being on, but it's not a very large one, and no one really cares. On that same topic, I have a question for you that's... Don't worry, it's not one of these weird questions. But I had this discussion with my sister the other day, and we were talking about how when a band gets canceled, per se, like, when is it okay to listen to them? Is it okay to listen to them, etc.? And I'm not asking for your opinion on that per se. But one thing that I thought of was, is it okay to listen to a cover song from a band that's been quote unquote canceled? So like, can I listen to Superchunk's cover of Ryan Adams' song, or is that still supporting a shitty artist? Because my whole stance, and I got this from my friend Dave, he once said to me, with so many good bands and so many good artists and filmmakers and everything, why would you support the shitty ones? You can support somebody else, which is a really good point, because I'm like, it's not like there's 10 albums you can choose from. There's like a gazillion artists that you can support. So you don't need to throw your money or your support behind that's like someone shitty. So I've tried to really live by that. But then again, I like Kiss, and I'm sure Kiss are shitty people. Actually, I can almost guarantee Kiss
Well, we know they're a shitty band, so wow.
This podcast is done. Anyway, just thoughts on the cover thing. Is it okay to listen to a cover of a song? Or does it support the artist?
I was going to say, like, you sort of have to trace the money back, because they would...
Oh, yeah.
Like...
But how much money are we getting off a cover of, like...
I don't know, it depends. Like, if it gets, like... It's not like Superchunk is a totally unknown band.
Okay. Let's say someone covers, like... what's a shitty band? What's a band that's done something really shitty lately?
Like if someone covered like a brand new song.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's the best. That's okay. Let's say someone covers a brand new song.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably like okay, because like this might be a shitty take. I think they're good songs, even if they're...
Oh yeah, they're great songs. It's just shit.
Yeah. There's
lots of good music that you have to toss away based on shitty people, or I have to. No one has to do anything they don't want to do. That's what I'm trying. I try my best to do now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm flawed and whatnot, but it's just an interesting conundrum.
Yeah, it's a good conversation.
If anybody has an opinion, I'd love to hear it. What else to do? Oh, I've been watching King of the Hill, and I want to bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, you were in a band that covered the King of the Hill theme song. Was this your idea, or was this a certain ex-podcaster's idea?
I don't think it was my idea. I don't think I ever really watched King of the Hill.
Also, who did the impersonation on the song?
That was both Nate and Jer.
Okay, so nothing to do with you.
Nope. I don't do impersonations.
King of the Hill, way better than I remember it. I'm kind of with you. Like, I watched it, but it wasn't like... It was because it was on right after Simpsons or right before Simpsons, if I recall.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the guys from Beavis and Butthead do it. It's okay. Like, I didn't religiously watch it, but I just started rewatching it because then it's getting a reboot, and I was just kind of curious. It's fucking hilarious. Maybe I just didn't get it, or maybe it's just because seeing it reminds me of like what America's become. Like everything Dale says in there, I swear, if you just wrote it down and sent out a tweet and put a cross beside your name and an American flag, somebody would be like, yeah, I believe that. Like he says in one of the episodes, he was talking about smoking. He's like, I don't want you to quit smoking. You got to make an informed decision by talking to the tobacco companies.
Yeah, totally.
And like, there's a talk about global warming, and he's like, open your eyes, man. They're trying to control global warming. It's global. That's what it means. Stuff like that. And I'm just like, I swear this is just like a playbook for like half of the like right wing conspiracies.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't remember when King of the Hill was actually on, but it would have been like probably like 97,
90s, early 90s?
97 to like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So anyway, worth revisiting if you're looking for like a funny show. And Bobby's way funnier than I remember him being.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a go.
Do you have you been listening to anything, Justin?
A couple new things from I know we covered a lot of this in the halfway through the year episode. But I did go pick up from your list, actually, Casper Fight Scene.
Oh, nice.
And their self-titled album, which is great. It's so good. And we obviously don't need to go too far into it since you talked about it last episode. But
just check out the last episode.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to episode 112 and you'll know all about it. But yeah, that was a great pick, and I've been listening to that a little bit. The new Heavy Seas album, By Degrees, that came out a couple of weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm. I think I know Heavy Seas that well.
No?
No, like I know the name, but I can't picture what they even sound like right now.
Yeah, like Chicago. I think they're Chicago-based. Like not quite Midwest emo, not quite hardcore. Somewhere in the middle.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds up my alley.
Yeah, it's a good listen for sure. And the other one that I've listened to almost every day since it came out, maybe a week ago, is the new Hot Mulligan single.
Oh, so good.
The proto theme song. It is so good. It's like the best thing they've ever recorded, and they've recorded so many good things.
And it's just for a wrestler, right? It's for
it's like some wrestler. I can't even think of like maybe it's an Australian wrestler. Maybe I'm making that up. But yeah, it's for some like non WWE level wrestler, and it's that guy's theme song. But it's such a good song.
It is really good. I'm curious to see if that's actually even going to be on the album, because their album's...
I don't think so. Like, it's not... Because the album on certain streaming platforms has all the tracks listed.
Oh, and it's not on there.
It's not on there, no. Because they've released one or maybe two singles off that forthcoming album that's out in the fall. But this is not one of them. The singles off the album sound really good, but I figured as a one-off single, the proto theme track is awesome.
Is that 3, or do you have anything else? Or is that?
I do a throwback album, actually, or not even throwback album, throwback artist.
I love the throwback Justin stuff.
Yeah, it's a great excuse for not listening to new music. This was one that I never really bothered to go back into, but sort of fits well with the theme of today's episode. And it was going back to listen to Million Dead, which was Frank Turner's band that he was in before he went solo and acoustic, who had never listened to it, never checked them out. And it's definitely like very, very clearly off a time that was like 2005,
100%.
2007. Like it sounds like At the Drive-In, International Noise Conspiracy-ish, like Boy Sets Fire-ish. But it's like there's definitely some good tracks in there and like worth listening to. And I think they're touring right now. Are they on tour right now? Like I think they're playing shows. Yeah.
I really liked it. I had never heard it before I started getting into Frank Turner, and I really, really liked it too. But yeah, it is very of a time.
Yeah.
And I imagine if you knew them at the time, it's probably really nostalgic. And then if you're someone like us rediscovering it, you're like, oh, it's good, but of a time.
Yeah, I think that's a totally fair assessment. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're touring or toured or played a couple shows this summer or something like that. So.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
That must be fun for someone like Frank to do something like that. To go
for sure,
back
yeah.
And be able to.
And I'm if he's like he is amazing with an acoustic guitar or like a small band. I can imagine him like in a full hardcore band. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to not like him, I would say, especially if you see him live. Like I can see not maybe loving those recordings, but live, he's definitely got that down to a T.
100%. Yeah.
Cool, great list, Justin. Okay, so the first one I've been listening to is a band called Deforesters and their album Paradise Mausoleum. Deforesters.
I didn't know they put out new stuff.
So here's the thing. I didn't know they did either. It's very random, and there's a reason for it. The band apparently planned to release the album a couple months later, but messed up and released it digitally by accident. So with no like fanfare or hype or anything, like I don't believe their physical copies are done yet, even, or if they've even worked out a deal with like a label to put it out. But basically, from what I can gather, is this was an accident that it came out already, but they decided to leave it up. And Nate tipped me off to it, so kudos to Nate. I really like this band. I believe I played them on the Conspiracy episode. I'm guessing that's the episode I played them on, because they have a song about the the Denver airport and Reptoids, which, if you want to go way back into our catalog, that Conspiracy episode might be one of my favorite episodes.
That's a good one, for sure. Yeah.
Anyway, Deforesters are from Toronto, I believe. They're from Toronto, right? And they kind of play...
Actually, I don't know where they're from. I have no idea.
They get lumped into that kind of punk that's orgcore, especially vocal-wise. I'd say they have like a very Red City Radio vibe to them.
Yep.
Maybe that's the Toronto version of the Oklahoma City sound. I don't know. Toronto is called the Hogtown, right? Hogtown? Is that their term?
It is now.
The Hog. Is it actually called
see
Hogtown?
If that sticks.
I feel like Toronto's nickname is the Hogtown or Hogtown.
I think so.
What a stupid name. That's really dumb. I'm sure that's from the olden days, and they probably sold pigs or something. Anyway, nothing to do with Deforesters other than being from Toronto. Yeah, great album. Check out their track Springsteenian. I think that's the one that really hooked me. So, another band I'm listening to is a hardcore screamo grindcore band from Dortmund, Germany called Moral Bombing, and it's a three-song single that they put out, which is kind of cheating. But I also listened to their album before to make up for it, which is an EP. It's just super in your face, the kind of energy you want from a band playing this kind of music. For Calgary people, they kind of remind me of a more palatable Chupacabra. I was originally drawn to the artwork, but I thought it was going to be a shoegaze band because it's like nice, pretty pink, pastel-y looking artwork. Definitely not shoegazy at all. Not for everybody, but if you like screaming and angry music, that's it. Another band I'm listening to is called Leisure Hour, and their album If I Could Kill You, I Would, which... Justin,
what a great title.
Would you make a guess with a title like that? What kind of band this would be?
This is very Midwest emo.
I would definitely put them in the Midwest emo category.
Yeah.
They are from Muncie, Indiana.
Yep, that's about as mid-center as
I'd like to make the claim that they're the best band from Muncie, Indiana, but when we made claims like that last episode, we got called out. Which I thought was interesting, that a band that we said was the best band from somewhere came and said, actually, this band's the best band from our city, which kudos to them, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, like you guessed, Midwest emo. I stumbled upon them on Instagram, and I thought the song title seemed interesting enough to check out. It's reminiscent of 2000 emo, like Taking Back Sunday, Modern Baseball, or Free Throw. It's kind of polished, which is... not always my thing, but it really works for this release, and I'm always a sucker for the two vocalist thing. And it looks like they're touring a bunch this summer and playing fast, so check them out on tour. Last one, I'm stealing your idea and doing a throwback.
Nice. I like it.
Steal things, that's how you get by, right?
What a great idea.
The best ideas are stolen. A few weeks back, a friend of the podcast and one-time host, that's what we'll refer to him now, and future fighter of fires, Nathan, showed up at my house with a little gift, and it was a copy of Hepcat's album Scientific. So I figure I'd shout it out because it's a great album. It originally came out in 96 and has been a staple of listening for me ever since I first heard Country Time in the movie Glory Days, which if you have never seen or heard about was like one of those 90s slacker indie movies that would be like the kind of movie they would have one copy at Blockbuster and you'd find it.
Yeah, it was always rented out.
But it had a killer soundtrack that was put together by Warren of the Vandals. It starred Ben Affleck and Sam Rockwell and Alyssa Milano. There's a bunch of nods to punk rock in it, which as a 16-year-old seemed very cool at the time. I haven't seen it in a while because I don't think it's ever on any streaming services or anything. I have a VHS copy, but anyway, there's a little to do with Hepcat other than that song being on that soundtrack. And as soon as I heard it, I fell in love with that band and never looked back. So if you're looking for a good ska album for the rest of summer, and if there are any sunny days ahead, Scientific is definitely a great version of that. So that's what I was listening to.
Love Hepcat. Like, they're so timeless and just great to like killer patio vibes.
Yeah, for sure. Or like, just relaxing and a good sunny day. But yeah, that's it. So if you've been listening, we haven't really talked about what our topic was yet, I don't think. Justin sort of alluded to it with Frank Turner. But this is Justin's pick for a topic. I think the first time you've picked a topic, right?
Yeah, I guess aside from when I was just a mere guest host.
Oh yeah, you picked that topic. That was a good topic too, the movie one, right?
The movie one, yeah.
That was a great...
like soundtrack to a movie.
That was a great one. I had a lot of fun doing that. This is also a great one because it is summer. Justin went with what makes a good campfire song. So this is Campfire songs. Justin, what makes a good campfire song in your opinion?
So I kind of went for the approach of something that people could sing along to if they hadn't heard it before or haven't heard it in a long time, or could just kind of pick it up and go with it. And it's got to have like a little bit of an earworm sort of thing. So a good hook in there somewhere. And then the other one was if it was one person playing on an acoustic guitar, like, you know, sort of literally around the campfire, would the song carry the same weight as, as like a full band experience. So I think a lot of the picks I made are, most or all of them are full band songs. I didn't do anything that was purely acoustic, but ones that were definitely more singer-songwriter focused, or at least like would lend themselves really well to like an acoustic type setting.
Yeah, I thought I was tough because for a few reasons. We'll get into that in a second here. But like, yeah, I was like, okay, acoustic, sing along, feel good vibes, like the kind of stuff you want hanging out around a fire or whatever. And like the obvious is Frank Turner. And we both talked, neither of us picked Frank Turner, but that's like the obvious easy pick. I mean, he has an album called Campfire Punk Rock.
Yeah, I was part of me wanted to just be like, let's pick that album and
yeah, perfect for it. It's acousticy, but people can sing along to it. It's not like offensive to most people's ears, so like anybody could get into it. I think there's like Chuck Ragan, also somebody that another easy low hanging fruit. I really wanted to pick Joe Strummer, but I think I've hit the Joe Strummer quota on this podcast. So I think my list might be a little bit off brand. I mean, and I kind of feel weird saying this, but I feel like this list could be the one pass I could get for picking a Sublime Sans Rome song on this podcast. I did.
Yeah, I thought about it too. And I actually...
I almost didn't. I was like, if I do this, I don't think I could handle the ridicule of all the times I made fun of Sublime. So one of the reasons I found it really tough is I've never been camping in my entire life. I
Mike, I know this about you, but tell the listener.
Basically, I'm a fancy boy who'd never sleep outside. I just have never wanted to do it. I didn't grow up doing it. My parents weren't into it. I believe they once said I didn't move to this country so we could sleep on the floor.
Yeah, that's a fair take.
Yeah, I'm just not into it. I legit have never done it. The closest I've come to camping out is camping out for concert tickets and sleeping in my car. One of which was Ozzy, which is kind of topical since Ozzy just died. But yeah, I don't know. I've never done it.
Do you like a campfire?
So I thought about that a little bit. I don't hate sitting around a campfire, like a backyard fire, or like when we went to Tofino, I didn't mind having a fire on the beach. Like that was fun. So I kind of went with, that's where I approached it, was like, if I'm sitting around a fire with a bunch of friends, what's a song I would want to hear and enjoy, and what would elevate the mood of that? So not per se the same as like sitting in the woods, because I don't think I'd like sitting in the woods around a fire though. I did watch Wet Hot American Summer a few weeks back, so I did try to think about that too. But I also never went to camp, which shouldn't be shocking. Did you ever go to camp as a kid?
No, never went to camp. I was in like scouts or whatever, and like went camping a couple times like that, but not like summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone camping a few times, like as an adult, and it sucks. Like it's not fun. The parts of it I do like don't require sleeping, in a tent or in the outdoors at all. Like I like campfires. I like hanging around a fire. Although I hate the smoke.
Yeah, I don't like the smoke. That's the downfall on the smell of it after. I really hate mosquitoes and bugs, so that's also...
Well, the smoke is actually good for keeping those away, but I like being around a fire. I like cooking outdoors and stuff like that, but I want to basically do all of that in the backyard and then go into the house.
So Justin, I know this about you, and maybe our listeners don't. Would you please tell us about your bear story or other animal? Well,
the last time I was camping, yes. I was like in like a canvas teepee sort of thing, basically like a tent, and like went to bed at 1 or 1:30 in the morning, and then was kind of like just about to fall asleep, and then I heard like sort of like almost like grunting or snorting, and like definite footprints, like literally just on the other side of this tent, and it's just a sheet of canvas between me and whatever this thing is, and it went on for what felt like hours, and it was so loud and so close to me, and I'm like, this thing's gonna be huge. Like, it's not a squirrel, it's not like something tiny, and had my like flashlight sort of like pointed out the door.
What would your flashlight do? If it was a bear, what would your flashlight do?
I had no idea. I had no real plan. Like I didn't want to make noise and just
Attract
basically
it?
sound a dinner bell.
Sounds
So I was
a
just sort
dinner
of
bell.
frozen, and then my phone battery was dying, and I'm like, this is just all of this is bad. And then it would go away and it would come back, and so I didn't sleep at all, like not even a little bit. And then finally it was like daylight started to come through, and the noises had gone away and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
That's terrifying to me, and also another reason why I'll never go camping.
Yeah, and was it a bear? Was it a raccoon? Was it a?
Do we have
don't know.
raccoons?
I think there might be out there. Maybe not. Yeah, we have raccoons in the mountains. Yeah, it was. I have no idea what it could have been, but it felt
scared you.
gigantic. Yeah.
Well, at least you had your flashlight.
Yeah, exactly. Until my battery died.
You could have played him a song on your phone, but your phone battery was dying too. Is that your best campfire story? Or do you have a better campfire story?
No, that's really it. That's, I guess, a camping story. No campfire stories.
I was trying to think the best, because I'm also kind of I'm obviously a camping virgin, but my closest good campfire fire pit story is when we were and I don't know if you were there. I'm assuming you were there, but when our friends had their first house that they all lived in, and we abused the privilege of friends living in a house and not having parents around, and we went there and had a fire in the backyard, and then decided to light a chair on fire.
I was 100% there.
And then, in fear of our friend Dave finding out, who has already banned me from the house a couple of times, or at least once, I didn't take that lifetime ban very well. We jumped on the roof when he came home and left the chair on fire in the backyard, which, as an adult now, seems very stupid.
So stupid. Yeah.
But that's the first campfire story that came to my mind. And then one thing I would like about campfires is ghost stories. Like, that would be the only thing. I'd be interested in hearing ghost stories around a campfire, but it'll never happen.
But you can just have like a backyard fire.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. And you get like
I don't have a fire pit in my
fancy stoves that are like almost smokeless. So
we could do it. That can be
Okay.
our plan next summer, Justin.
we could still do it this summer. It's only
Summer's
the
over.
last week of July.
Summer's over.
It's already a write-off.
Yeah. But yes, we could do it, I guess. I don't have a fire pit, though. Do you have a fire
I've
pit?
got one. It's portable. It's smokeless. I'll bring it over.
All right, come over. You're welcome to come. Anybody else can come, too. No bears, though. I pay the homeowner tax, not the bear tax.
Just ghost stories and feet pics. That's it.
Sexy feet pics. Oh, and Nate can put the fire out if we have any
Oh,
problems.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. He can
It's all
supervise.
solved. It's all solved. I don't know. Is there anything else about campfires or fires before we get to our first songs?
No, I just wanted to understand your take on camping.
Okay. It was literally the hardest. I think the hardest I've ever had to work on a thing, because I was like, I don't know what people listen to. I was like picturing like people like singing like kumbaya, or like, I was like, I don't have any music like that. And then I listened to a bunch, like you had touched on it. I listened to a bunch of acoustic songs, and I'm like, yeah, like I guess you can have that annoying guy with the guitar around the fire, but it doesn't really like make it a good time.
Yeah, I thought a fully acoustic song felt like a little bit too much of a cop out.
Yeah, like it just, yeah. I mean, I could see there's certain ones that would work for sure. And then like there's the whole like punk rock acoustic thing where like the singer or the guitarist does basically this is the same song, but it's acoustic. And that's a 50-50 gamble. One person I thought about putting was that, I think his name is
Brian Roses.
Yeah. Oh, see,
Yeah.
you're on top.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
He's got some good ones, and they were like good covers. But again, when I started listening to him, I really like all the songs. I was like, I don't know if this is campfire. This is more like I enjoy listening to it.
Country-ish, which is also, it's, I guess, more bluegrass. But I did think about this too in the vein of like coming out of Stampede, that some of these songs are like almost country adjacent.
Yeah, I mean and there is that whole thing with punk, with folk punk, and alt country, that it all falls into this murky genre.
Yeah, there's a Venn diagram in there somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna try to explore that diagram. So let's hear what your first pick was. I can't speak tonight. Sorry, this is gonna be fun editing. Let's hear what your first pick is, Justin.
All right, so I'm gonna go with maybe an interesting one for a campfire song. It might require a banjo to really get the full effect, which feels very campfire-ish. The band is out of San Francisco. The album came out in 2012. I think their most recent album was on Fat Records. But this one is called Tall Cans and Loose Ends. The band is Get Dead, and the song I picked was Fuck You.
Oh.
Because I thought,
I think you
what a
just wanted
great
to say
way
fuck
to
you.
like... Sorry?
I think you just wanted to say fuck you to me. You stared right at me
you
and said
in particular.
fuck you.
Yeah. I stopped reading my notes and went locked eyes with you. I just think it's such a great like sing-along song. Like, it's not hard to understand. The vocals are pretty easy to get behind. It's a very very typical rebellious kind of punk rock song. I like Sam King's voice a lot. Like, I think I love that raspiness behind his voice. And yeah, I just thought it was a great song to, if you heard it, the first chorus, you would know exactly what the second chorus is, and it feels like a great song to sing with a bunch of friends after you've had a few drinks.
All right, so we're on the same sort of page
Yeah.
then. I like this. I actually almost picked a Get Dead song too.
Yeah, I think it's just, so much of their stuff is, despite having like a proper band, very like acoustic driven.
Good pick, Justin. Good pick. So my first pick is, and I'm gonna go into that alt country that we talked about for a second, is a band called the Silver Jews. Do you know the Silver Jews?
I don't.
Okay, so the Silver Jews are like, for lack of a better word, hipster indie rock, like alt country that originally I refused to listen to, based solely on that stigma. It is fronted by David Berman, and each album has kind of had a slew of different members, but most notably Steve and Bob from Pavement were on the first two, I believe, and this album that I picked. The album I picked is Tanglewood Numbers, and the song is called Punks in Beer Light. And this is the first song I sort of thought of when you suggest this, because it just sort of has that feel or that essence of what I imagined, like hanging out with friends. Like,
So you've had to imagine hanging out with friends.
yes, it's true. I have no friends. I just have to force them to do podcasts with me to hang out.
A friend only, because you had to swap one out for the other.
Wow. Cuts deep. Factual, though. I'm going to shift back to the Silver Jews here. So I don't have to take a break and cry a little. But thanks for ruining my night. First you tell me to fuck off.
I didn't
and
tell
then
you to
me
fuck
I have
off.
no
I
friends.
said fuck you. That's different.
Oh, fuck you. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, this isn't a band I didn't really want to give the time of day to, but as all music junkies do, I've dabbled a little bit more over time, and I've really grown to enjoy the lyrics of this band. He's right up there with Craig Finn in the storytelling nature. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm still thinking about How You Hurt My Feelings. Even though this is a dark song, like lyrically, I think it's about like fucking up and doing drugs. I just felt it worked. Maybe it's the whole punks in the beer light thing, but it's got enough alt country and rock to satisfy my needs for this, and it could still be a little bit relaxing. So that's the song I went with.
Awesome. Great first picks for our theme of campfire songs. I went with Get Dead off the album Tall Cans and Loose Ends, and the song is Fuck You, Mike.
Fuck you, Mike, or fuck you?
Can't it be both?
Sure. Silver Jews, Punks in Beer Light, off Tanglewood Numbers.
They told me to stop my drinking. They told me no more women on boats. They told me no more late nights of cocaine. Well, I had to tell it. bonds in California sunshine. You can have the rest, plus fuck you. Where's a paper bag that holds the liquor? Just in case I feel the need to puke. If we'd known what it takes to get here, would we have chosen to? Would we have chosen to? So you wanna build an altar on a summer night? You wanna smoke the gel off a fentanyl patch? Ain't you heard the news? Adam and Eve were Jews. And I always loved you to the max. I love you to the max. I love you to the max. I love you to the max.
If it gets really, really bad, if it ever gets really, really bad,
Let's not kid ourselves. It gets really, really bad. Punks in the beer light, burnouts in love. Punks in the beer light, two lose on track. Punks in the beer light, two burnouts in love. I always love you to the max. I 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 love you to the.
All right, we are gonna move along here with our second campfire picks for the episode. I'm gonna go with a band that is no stranger to the podcast and no stranger to my picks. I may have even picked this for the best of 2005 episode. I can't remember it, and I did not look back to see if I actually did or not. But
Way to do the research.
yeah, just it would require opening a Word doc somewhere on my computer. That seemed like a big feat.
It's one thing I miss about the website. It was much easier to go back and find out what I had picked, but I don't think it matters. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, we're just going to roll with it. This certainly plays off the theme from the last episode of, the last pick of mine. That is acoustic focused with a bit of backing band, and then some really just good, honest lyrics about drinking and doing too many drugs.
Sorry, I thought you said religious lyrics about drinking and doing drugs. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's in one of the new chapters of the Bible. It's at the back. They don't A lot of people skim over that part. This is an album that came out in 2005. The band is Against Me, and the album is Searching for a Former Clarity. And the song I went with is How Low. I really like Against Me. They're top 10 band of mine for sure. And I've always liked this song, and it's one of those things where if I could ever, if I ever had the talent to like sing and play guitar, this would be like such a great song to like sing it. Like I was sort of pictured it like it'd be great to sing it at like a corporate stampede party or something like that, because it'd be like, oh, this guy's playing a song, that's pretty cool, and then you're listening to it and you're like, wait, did you just say rolled up dollar bill?
Well, in fairness, at a corporate stampede party, somebody might be like, I see what he's saying, rolled up dollar bill. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought if I could ever play guitar, this might be one of the songs that I would want to be able to play and sing. But I can.
You can play guitar though.
Guitar.
I've heard you play guitar before. You're not bad.
Well, I certainly can't sing, and I can't do them both. At the same
I have
time,
never
so.
heard you sing though. I honestly don't think I've ever heard you sing.
No, it's never going to happen.
Like, I'm trying to think of even if we got really, really well. If we got wasted, I don't think I've ever heard you sing. Like, I've never heard you even be like remotely.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, weird. I don't sing either, but I'm sure at some point you've heard me sing poorly. But you've heard me. Good pick. Love this album. Against Me, it seemed like an obvious pick too that would fit for this, because there's always like the sing along factor, and the way that Against Me songs are written, or Laura Jane Grace songs are written, is very conducive to that like sort of feeling, even if the lyrical content's not.
Yeah, for sure. And it's paced really well. I like the backup vocal and harmonies that come in halfway through the song, which will connect to a feature pick, spoiler alert. That sort of also lend itself to like, it's like gang vocals but Campfire version, where you just have like a sort of a more subtle harmony that comes in.
Great pick. My pick is a band from Ottawa called New Swears, and I'm 99% sure I've played this song in here before, but if not, if it was done a long time ago. New Swears are a band that just seems like the kind of band that crushes mostly Canadians sitting around a backyard fire. I just feel like that's the sort of feel when I think of Campfire songs. Obviously, again, what do I know? I haven't been to a campfire. But they do write the kind of perfect music for good times with buds chilling. I was tempted to go with one of their later releases because they do start leaning more into country tinges. And like you had said, like there is that country feel to the Campfire song. But I changed my mind and went with No Fun off their album Junk Food Forever Bedtime Whatever. It's just a super fun song. It's the kind of song you can sing along to, much like you were saying with Against Me. It's like you can see yourself singing along to it. It's got gang vocals and hand claps, and I figured that is always a plus for campfires and groups of friends outside having a good time. So that's why I picked this song.
Cool, great pick. Yeah, these guys remind me that not necessarily musically, but like the doodliness of Pew Pew Pew.
I see that too. Yeah, I always kind of lump them together too. I'm not sure if it's because I discovered them both at the same time, or in my head, or
yeah, they just seem like they would be fun guys to party with if we were 12 years younger.
Maybe more for me, but anyway, yeah, definitely they've definitely got a party vibe to them.
Yeah, they seem like a good time. Campfires could be a good time. We're gonna find out later this summer.
Unless there's any bears around. Depends
what kind of bears, but that's a different podcast.
Yeah, well.
Let's see who comes for the feet picks.
All right.
Second picks for Campfire songs. I went with Against Me off the album Searching for a Former Clarity and the song How Low.
New Swears, No Fun off Junk Food Forever, Bedtime Whatever.
we charge into danger. No guarantees of safe places. No one can be trusted. Everyone is a suspect, and all the money's worthless. The town is trite and exaggerated. The food is turning and the water's fucking poison. That is right in your teeth, right out of your head. Sight and hearing quickly faded. Oh, your guts expanded. Your hair are receding. The sores are opening and the cats are spreading. And the antibiotics aren't working. All the drugs distinctly sobering. The skeletons in your closet have opened the door and they've started talking. Just like Miami, fucking Miami. Shock land for the theater. Our hope has been abandoned, like violence drifting into the ocean. Just like Miami, fucking Miami. Shock land for the theater. Seat waiting, all the right, the sights are on the back of your head. They're serving it in your drink when you're not looking, and they're selling it to you as art. It's every other word in movies and songs. Oh, the public is buying, it's business as usual, and the business is capitalizing. Own your fear, your greed, your perversions and vices. They say you're guilty, got the evidence to prove it. Mistakes are obvious, the vaults are glaring, the plane is on fire, the fucking ship is sinking, and you're swept away out of hurricane. I'm buried in the rubble of an earthquake. It's terminal, they're amputating, massive hemorrhaging, major fucking complications, just like Miami, fucking Miami. Shock land for the theater.
I'd rather be fucked than be myself. 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 I'd rather be
All right, well, let's get into the third picks for Campfire songs. I went with an ensemble. Maybe they're an ensemble more than a band.
Oh, that's a classy word.
I'm a classy guy.
Yeah.
This was.
You tell me to fuck off earlier.
It was the right thing to do. This made my top picks for 2024 quite handedly. It's one of my favorite albums to come out. It's released by a person that doesn't actually exist. The band is Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties, and this song is coming off is In Lieu of Flowers, that came out April of 2024. For anyone that doesn't know the story, Aaron West is the alter ego of Dan Campbell, who's the lead singer and frontman of the Wonder Years. He created this sort of persona named Aaron West, and then wrote sort of a trilogy of albums around him, and the story of basically he's like a failed musician, or struggling, I shouldn't say he's a failed musician, a struggling musician who goes through a bunch of shit in life, tries to get his life back together, and is dealing with being in a band that doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and a life that's falling apart, and friends getting sick and all that kind of stuff. So it's all quite depressing, and it's actually super surprising when I first found out that it's all made up. I'm like, how could you, it's such a convincing story, and the heartbreak and the emotion that goes into all of it is so real. I just thought it's such a great concept for a band.
So it blew my mind. I assumed, to be honest, that Dan Campbell wasn't his real name and Aaron West was his real name, and then he had just put out the solo album and didn't want to be associated with the Wonder Years and just kind of do your own sort of make your own path with that. And then to find out it was all just kind of made up, made it almost more impressive.
Yeah.
To get that kind of emotion out of something that didn't happen is really pretty impressive.
Yeah. And this last album, which I understand will actually be their last album, I think he's always referred to this as a trilogy project, is sort of pulling out all the stops. I think there are 20 musicians or something like that, or 16 musicians that play on this album in different capacities. This is one of the more stripped down songs in terms of not a ton of cellos and pianos, although there is quite a bit of multi-instrumental stuff going on.
Do people bring cellos to campfires?
They could, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You could bring anything to a campfire, really.
Books to burn. I mean...
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's why you're going to get cancelled.
This alt-right thing is really getting to me.
But the song I went with was Paying Bills at the End of the World, which is also just a very interesting sentence in terms of I think the song deals a lot with medical hardship and somebody that's going through basically for facing a pretty terminal situation. And then the idea of paying bills at the end of the world is just it's interesting to think of what we do to try to cope with life, maybe not being there for us anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up to think about that you could be dying and be like, yeah, I should really pay this phone bill.
Yeah, it's kind of like you start just, I don't know, taking care of that kind of stuff for some weird reason, when it really should be well, fuck them. That's the last thing I'm going to take care of.
Fuck the phone company.
Yeah. This ties back to my previous Against Me pick, because again, there's just some really great vocal harmonies that come in that really feel again, if you had a couple people at Campfire that were just had written the song or put it together or played together a whole bunch, and they just sort of like nail those harmonies and complement each other so well. It would be awesome. Like, I'd love to sit around with some good friends and or meet new people or whatever, and just like to have two people be able to pull that off together would be awesome. I think it'd be fun.
Meet new people. Who are you?
I mean, what happens at the campfire?
Fair enough. It's one of those campfires. First off, great pick. One thing to touch on also with Dan Campbell is, like, it blows me away that, there's Aaron West in the Roaring Twenties. There's Wonder Years. Then he also does Dan Campbell solo stuff. And then he also did that album about Friday Night Lights.
About Friday Night Lights, yeah.
Well, it's like, what a prolific writer. Like, and they're all sort of different, which is kind of interesting. Especially, like, you would think his solo stuff would sound like Aaron West, and it doesn't. Like, it
doesn't. It sounds quite a bit different.
But it doesn't. Like, it's like a different thing. Like, it's not... and it doesn't sound like Wonder Years either, which is also kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out any of Aaron West's stuff. The song I picked is from a band called The Almighty Defenders, and the song is All My Lovin' off their self-titled album. The Almighty Defenders are a super group of sorts, featuring members of the Black Lips and King Khan and the Barbecue Show, who are from Montreal. According to Wikipedia, which I've just found out, and it may not be the most legit of sources, but I did see it referenced a couple times when looking at the album. The band was formed after the Black Lips had fled India during their 2009 tour. They had fled the country after suspicions of their arrest following acts of public indecency during a show. They decided to lay low with a mutual friend based in Berlin at the time, who was King Khan. In true Black Lips boozy fashion, they recorded a rough and homemade album with King Khan and his bandmates. Apparently it took 8 days to write and record. It sort of feels that way, but sometimes the best gems come out of something like this. I don't know if I played this song on the show before. Do you recall if I played? I thought maybe I played them during one of the years, but I didn't.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, because the name definitely sounds familiar, but I don't know the band.
The album's muddy. It's energetic. It's got that feeling of good times. It just oozes from it. It's got a garage rock and soulful twist. Pitchfork noted it's like listening in on a bunch of like-minded friends screwing around in a jam session. And much like you had just said about like the campfire with like a bunch of people sitting around singing that were like talented musicians, that's what this sort of feels like. And the song I picked, All My Loving, just sounds like one of those songs that could erupt in a sing-along around a campfire, probably booze-induced. And I'm starting to think that I keep bringing up drinking around a fire.
They really do go hand in hand.
Which is two things I don't do. So I think it's kind of funny. Might have to start drinking, I guess. Got to survive somehow. Pay my bills at the end of the world and drink. Make some friends that aren't Justin or Nate.
Meet new people.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have to really say about that. I guess you don't know much about the Almighty Defenders.
No, but that's a wild story.
Yeah, I got to find out more. But literally, it was referenced on Wikipedia and like 2 or 3 reviews. So I'm starting to think there's something to it.
Or maybe it's like a Blair Witch situation where they just made it up.
Could be.
Third picks for campfire songs. I'm going with Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties off the album In Lieu of Flowers, and the song is Paying Bills at the End of the World.
Almighty Defenders, All My Loving off their self-titled and only release.
No one told the birds the world was ending, so they keep singing like it's spring. A walk with Colin after dinner. We split a Coke and watch the sunset do its thing. The church around the corner's having service on the lawn and drawing pictures on the pavement. Pastel sidewalk chalk, doves and palms and cartoon Jesus dying on the cross. I say he must be running late. We sort of laugh it off. I've been having that dream where I'm dying again. One where feels like shit and doesn't even wake me up. Some guy I knew from high school got me a job here with his dad. So now I install garage doors on the South Shore while it lasts. And my skin looks like minefield. The mosquitoes got me bad, but I'm happy for the work. And that's where I saw Sam. Thought that you got out of here in high school. I can't believe that you came back. And you said we should get a drink soon. I'll catch you up on all of that. I said I get paid on Fridays. Meet me down at Jack's. I've been having that dream where I'm dying again. One where I get sick, we can't afford it. I've been walking around here with no health insurance. We can barely keep the lights on as it is. I've been having that dream where I'm dying again. The one where I get sick and we can't afford it. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Just lay your burden out on me. We've all been to Galilee. I've seen the new one coming fast. These thunders know just how to last. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Oh my love is all my love. This whole world. This whole world. Pick up your guitar and your tune. Pound that jaw till King go. Even if there's no one around, different make
Mike, you touched on it earlier, but I'm going to bring it up because it's hanging in your background. We, of course, lost Ozzy Osbourne this past week. I know he's you're a big Ozzy fan, and he probably played a pretty large part in the music that you listen to and shaped your musical tastes. And just wanted to get any thoughts from you on truly the one and only Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, yeah. I definitely am one of those people that isn't really shocked or like affected much when famous people die. And for some reason, this one really, like, it made me really sad. And I know Ozzy was old, and Ozzy lived a long life, and actually probably went out and made one of the coolest ways ever. Like, basically had a funeral for himself, whether he knew he was dying or not. It was basically a funeral where he was celebrated, and a lot of people paid tribute to him, and got to go out in a way that most people don't get to go out. So yeah, but it still hit me, and I was talking with my uncle, and my uncle is a big influence on my music, and probably why I started liking Ozzy and Black Sabbath when I was a kid. I know I've talked about Kiss a lot, but I would say Ozzy and Sabbath are maybe on par with influence, especially as I was growing up. And like I said, I've seen Ozzy a bunch of times, and had an Ozzy sticker on my car, wore an Ozzy shirt to punk shows, and got made fun of by certain peoples. Won't name names.
It was me.
It was you. But I think the thing that got me was, like, Ozzy was constant in my life, I guess. Like, and it's not like I was like, his newer stuff's okay. Like, I listened to it. I'm not even gonna pretend like I didn't listen to it, but it's not like I was clamoring for a new Ozzy album or like clamoring to know what was going on in Ozzy's life. But it felt like he was invincible. Like, he should have been dead like 100 times. Like,
easily, yeah.
Like, between the drugs, the partying, I don't know. I'm assuming snorting ants isn't good for you. Then there's like accident, like getting flipped over on a ATV or whatever, a quad or whatever, and breaking your back and everything. Parkinson's, like, he just shouldn't have lived. So like, it almost felt like he was
poisoning from like biting the head off a dove or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess like the rabies and all that kind of stuff
like
too.
Rabies, yeah.
Like
eating bats. Fuck, that took out half the world.
Wow. Like, I don't know. And I know he's like anybody, most musicians, especially ones from those eras, like, there's lots of flaws, probably character flaws and stuff, but he always just seemed like happy in a weird way, considering the shitty life he grew up with, like being abused and stuff as a kid. He just seemed like a happy dude, and like funny. Like, I don't know if it was a character or not, but like whenever you saw him on something, he made a pretty funny joke, even if it was like unintentional, like almost like Homer. Like,
that's from like the maybe 7 seconds of his reality show I watched. That's probably holds pretty true.
Yeah, but I think that's a part of him. Anyway, so that just kind of hit me. I mean, like, again, when someone that old passes away, it's they generally have lived and someone like him, famous, lived a good life. But it just hit me a little bit, and I love Sabbath and I love Ozzy, so that's it. That's probably a lot more than people want to hear on a punk rock podcast about Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, we want to hear about you, Mike. We want to know about the man behind the microphone. And I think you're absolutely right. Like, what an amazing way to go out is like play. Like,
he must have had an inkling, right? Like,
yeah,
that it was coming to an end. Like, to reunite the band in your hometown and have all these other people and like power through. I think he did 10 songs, like 5 Sabbath ones, 5 Ozzy ones, and like in a chair that they created for him to sit in. And he said he stopped taking his pain medicine and stuff so he could sing.
Yeah,
impressive.
Yeah, that's a good way to go. All right, let's slide into our fourth picks here. I'm gonna build on the theme of my last pick, which is a side project from a well-known singer or artist, I should say. This guy was in a few different bands, including Slapstick, Tuesday, The Falcon, and supergroup. Who doesn't love a supergroup? The Damned Things. Do you know the Damned Things?
I don't actually. I don't think so.
It's I did not know about it either. I just kind of randomly came across them. It's a super group of the guitar
Ted Nugent?
player. What's his name? Ian Scott from Anthrax.
Okay.
The lead singer of Every Time I Die. 2 guys from Fall Out Boy.
This does sound like Damn Yankees.
And their name doesn't help. And of course, Dan Andriano on bass, who is who I picked for my my 4th pick.
Okay, first off, before we get to your pick, is it worth checking out, or is it?
I listened to one song this
bad.
afternoon, and it's not bad. It's very like, it's what you would expect. Like, it's pretty radio rock adjacent. Which tracks? I mean, all those guys are in, but like, there's still some edge because it's the guy from Every Time I Die that sings. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not awful. It could be good. I haven't listened to it enough to know that. But even the name just sounds like the Damn Yankees, and just that ongoing trend of quote unquote supergroups and their fucking terrible names.
Oh man.
This is not a terrible named band because they don't really have a name, but it's Dan Andriano in the Emergency Room, which I think the last album was Dan Andriano and the Emergency Room.
He has a couple of different things, and I don't know if it's like much like we talked about with the Fabric thing. Is it something to do with contracts, so like you can get out of recording things?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Because one's like Dan Andriano and the something else. I can't remember. There's nothing. It's not an Emergency Room. It's something else. The Bygones, maybe, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know. It's but the one's and the Emergency Room, and one might be in the Emergency Room. I don't know.
I thought so. I could also be making that up, and maybe I just kind of remembered what I thought it should be, but it is in the Emergency Room.
Is this a Mandela effect thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could be. Jeff Rosenstock is on this album.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he's playing guitar on it, and it's got a bit of a different sound. Like, this one's more kind of power pop, way less melancholy than the previous one was. And yeah, definitely a couple good tracks on this one. The one that I picked for obvious reasons is called Fire Pit. Seems like just a great, what a great fit for the theme of the episode here.
Oh, I thought you had more to say.
That's all I got to say.
Fire Pit. All right.
Dan Andriano is also in Alkalandria.
No.
Yeah, in and amongst all those other bands. We should also just, as a mention, as to how good Slapstick was.
Slapstick's fucking amazing.
Fuck, that band was so good.
That's definitely a band I learned from you, and like, it's so good. That's one thing, like when they played that Asian Man Festival, that's a regret. I would have liked to have gone and seen Slapstick.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Sorry, I was originally going to cheat and pick a cover song for every pick this time, because I figured cover songs lends to sing-alongs, and Fire Pits and sing-along seems to go hand in hand, as we've discussed. There are some great ones I had in mind, like the Polar Bear cover of At Your Funeral, which was live and had like
so
claps in it.
Yeah.
Which I thought would be perfect. Any of that Mad Caddies album, I thought would have worked. The Frighteners cover of I'd Rather Go Blind. And like I had said, the Bryant Roses stuff too. I debated. But then I figured that would be cheating, so I ended up with just using a cover done by the Murder City Devils. The cover is Can't Seem to Make You Mine, and it's off the Glucifer split. It's a cover of the Seeds classic song. This single was a white whale of mine for a long time. But our buddy Dev came through and gifted me a copy of this 7-inch because he had 2 copies. So I'm not sure why he had 2 copies, but he gave me one. But I had been looking for it for a long time, and it was pretty pricey online, and it's not on any streaming services or anything. So I actually had to rip this off the vinyl to put this on this episode. So
wow,
if there's a sound quality issue, it's my bad. But the reason I picked it is this song, both this version and the original, kind of had a beach party psychedelic vibe, and I thought about beach fires and campfires going hand in hand. I suppose if you live near a beach, camping on the beach is probably a lot more fun than camping in a forest. But like in like those stock footage of like hippies, like have them like dancing around a beach fire. That's what I kind of got from this song. Not like in Lost Boys, where you were going to get your skull ripped open by Kiefer Sutherland or Bill from Bill and Ted's, but just more of this like psychedelic feel to it. And I figure that goes with a laid back feel of a beach party. And that's why I picked it.
Cool. Interesting pick. I know none of these things, so I look forward to hearing it. And
Well, you know, Can't Seem to Make You Mine. I'm sure you know this song.
Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it's like a...
I'm not going to sing it. When you hear it, you'll know the original.
All right. With our fourth picks, I'm going with Dan Andriano, In the Emergency Room, and the song Fire Pit off the album Party Adjacent.
Murdy City Devils, Can't Seem to Make You Mine.
Places I hang out, where all the bad thoughts are born.
It's that time again when we get to the end of the episode and I get to say thank you, and Justin just looks at me like, hurry up, I want to go to bed. First and most importantly, I want to thank you, the listener. Thanks for checking out our podcast. I hope you found a song on here that you can close out your summer with one night with your buds, your family, or solo. Seriously, thank you so much for listening and caring about what we do. There's a zillion podcasts, and it really does mean the world that anyone would care to listen to what Justin or myself have to say about music. Thank you to Justin for taking the time to hang out with me, for coming up with this list idea, and for always being a great friend, even if you tell me I have no friends. Thanks to the WhatsApp group for the conversations, the music suggestions, random thoughts. If you want to join, we made it a few months without ranking strung out albums. Then Ozzy died and Justin brought up the cover of Bark at the Moon, and it went full circle. Sidebar, is Strung Out's version of Bark at the Moon better than Ozzy's version? Justin?
The poll says yes.
I said no.
I say yes.
We also tried to find out why Simon has never heard a Sublime song in his life, even though he's the right age demographic and lives in fucking Australia, and I believe surfs. I assume they all surf. There's no way he's never heard a Sublime song. I don't believe him for 1 second. But I don't know,
Yeah,
Simon.
there's no way. I don't think that's even possible.
Anyway, he swears by not knowing Sublime songs at all, which I somewhat respect. He'll never know the guitar legend that is Bradley Knoll. Guy plays it like a motherfucking riot. But anyways, if you want to join, let us know. Get in touch. We'll hook you up with the secret password. I think that's all I had to say. If you listen to us on any of the streaming services, leave a review or a comment or anything like that. I hope you're having an okay summer, and let's get to these last picks, Justin.
Mike, you didn't ask if I wanted to thank anyone.
I just know you don't want to thank anybody. Is there someone you'd like to thank this time?
Yeah, I would actually. I would like to thank Al Gore for inventing fire, much like he invented the internet, so that we could have a theme for this episode.
Oh, yes. Al Gore, legend.
Dark and cold days before he came along.
He also invented electricity too, right?
That seems like a far-fetched claim. Let's just keep
okay.
it to the fire and the internet. All right, yeah. Last picks for the Campfire episode. I have inadvertently managed to link all of my picks together through some connection between the two, and I was struggling with this last one, but then it just hit me that previous pick, Dan Andriano, would have actually crossed paths with my next pick somewhere in the Revival tour days. And I wanted to stay away from the Revival tour stuff, not on purpose by any means, but sort of like we talked about with like Chuck Reagan, it's kind of like an easier pick to make.
I believe in our text message your words were, we'll leave those for Nate.
Yeah, that might have come up.
Anyway, sorry.
So I went with maybe a lesser known pick from the Revival tour days, but would certainly have a lot to offer into the genre of folk punk. He's a hardworking musician from Saskatchewan, so I'm hitting up some CanCon for us as well to match your Ottawa picks. It is the artist that goes Matt Good. I think it's Matt Good, who goes by the name or artist name Northcote, off his 2014 album or EP actually called Invisible Diamonds. I've listened to quite a bit of Northcote stuff, and I like it. I think it's just honest from the heart, punk rock inspired folk, and it's great stuff to just have on without worrying about offending anyone or being too loud or anything like that. But he puts together some really great songs and has just a really great way of telling stories, particularly about distance and about travel and about being on the road. And I think when you're from Saskatchewan, you probably spend most of your life on the road trying to get either around or out of Saskatchewan. And I think that shows well in his music. You can tell it's definitely an honest tales from the road approach to life.
I didn't know Northcote was from Saskatchewan. I always assumed Vancouver for some reason, or Victoria. I'm not sure why. It makes more sense from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, good old prairie boy.
What's the nickname of Saskatchewan? They got something like Hogtown too.
Regina has a great slogan.
Queen City, right?
The city that rhymes with fun.
Oh, yes. I think they got in trouble for that.
They did get in trouble for that. I went with the song Hello Charlotte, which is the name of my niece, and I just thought it was a great song. It was her first birthday on the weekend, and when I was putting songs together for this one, I'm like, this is a great song. It just times out really nicely.
Wow, look at you being all sentimental and nice.
Yeah.
It's a new version of you. It seems weird. I like it, though. It's different.
Well, let's not forget what my first pick was and
Yes.
who it was directed to.
All right. Good pick, Justin. Northcote is perfect for this sort of thing.
I did it. All 5 picks linked together.
That's pretty impressive. Came up with the topic, had a great story about a bear, and you linked all your songs together, and didn't pick the Menzingers.
I just need no Menzingers. I could have picked that From Exile album. You know.
So my next pick's Stretch. So this one I wasn't sure if it would work, but the reason I picked it is I feel like the vibe of the song was the end of a night. Like my limited campfire experience is there's a point where the fire is starting to die and everyone's either falling asleep or leaving, and there's just a peacefulness to that part of the night.
When everyone leaves.
No, they're not necessarily leaving, but it's winding down.
Yeah, it's closing time, but for fires.
Yes.
By Semisonic. That was the...
Well, you got my pick. No, I'm just kidding. The band is the Slackers. The song is Place Where I Belong. It's another gem. It's hard to find online outside of Slackers Bandcamp site. But like I said, I figured this just had that feel of the fire dimming out, the end of a good night. Let's just chill. And since this is the end of the episode, I'm saying drink that last beer, make sure that fire's out, and cozy up to that special someone and listen to this track. Apparently this was first released on the Ska Is Dead series, which is a split with Bomb the Music Industry. I think this is the 5th or 6th 7-inch in that series or album. But again, a thing you had to either get when it came out or find on Discogs. But it is on their Rarities Bandcamp release, Rarities 96 to 2000. Either way, if you listen to this podcast, you probably know the Slackers. If you don't, and you like ska, reggae, roots, or that sort of thing, you really should. Much like when we talked about Hepcat, they're just one of those consistently strong bands that have that great laid-back sound to them and rarely miss. So that's why I picked this song. If I messed up on the campfire thing, just enjoy it and roll with it.
No, I like it. What a great pick.
Thanks, Justin.
Fire and chill.
Yep, that's it. That's the end of this podcast. What do you got?
Awesome. Great picks, and I think a good way to go out. Let the fire dim out. It's a quiet end to the evening, and you're going to hear our final 2 picks. I went with Northcote off the EP Invisible Diamonds and the song Hello Charlotte.
The Slackers, Places Where I Belong, off Rarities 96 to 2000. Stay cool and be excellent to each other.
Cafe and Moose Jaw to hotel lobby. After bar Austin, Windsor on a Monday. Now I need a miracle, maybe more than one. There's cracks in the armor, it's too late to turn and run. It was the worst, we loved it. Now it's a curse, and we trust it. Whenever I'm feeling this way, I go out and sing your name, Hello Charlotte. A restaurant singer working double as a server. You really got a hold on me, it's just another Saturday. I signed away my soul with a wine-soaked pen. I swore it was the last time, but I know I'll be back again. It was the worst, and we loved it. Now it's a curse, and we trust it. Whenever I'm feeling this way, I go out and sing your name, Hello Charlotte. Hear me now, know that I miss you dearly. Everything that we shared, I still see it clearly. If we got the right reasons, we'll never regret it. And if we get the right feeling, we'll never forget it. It was worse, we loved it, now it's a curse. We trust it. Whenever I'm feeling this way, I go out and sing your name. It was the worst, and we loved it, now it's a curse, and we trust it. Whenever I'm feeling this way, I go out and sing your name. Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte. Tears are from gladness and also from sadness. When I find a place where I belong, is where I've been running from. The tears are for children. Sister, have mercy. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running from. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running from. The Sisters of Mercy, 7 in number. Me being candid, burning a hole in my stomach lining. Curse that I'm under. Devil and timing, bitching and whining. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running from. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running from. Torn into pieces, my body, Jesus, give me the strength in, curse that I'm under, this demon inside me, sitting in silence, here's some goodness that fills me with violence. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running from. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running from. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running, is where I've been running. When I find the place where I belong, is where I've been running from, running from, running from.
I don't want to live stream. Sorry. It's asking me to live stream. Like, no one wants to live stream this. Okay, we can start.